Oh, Ricky,
Yes, this is Rick.
or Rick, I'm sorry. It's Peter Capofari touching base with you.
So, what the hell's going on? How come you?
So it's set for a bench trial tomorrow.
Yeah, but we're still not ready, dude. You never met me the day you were supposed to on the 14th. Nothing. Why do you keep doing this to me?
I mean, I'm ready to proceed. To be honest with you, I mean the facts are the facts. Do you want me to ask for a continuance?
Uh, I haven't seen. I don't know what the hell's going on, Pete. All I know is you don't never return my phone calls. You don't miss. You've missed every friggin' appointment you've set for me that I've walked my happy ass into town for. And I'm not trying to be mad at you, man. You know, like before, you asked me to refrain from the recording, which I know I didn't legally have to, but I did for almost a fucking year. I've been dealing with this. Actually, it's been over a year, hasn't it? August 21st of last year. This is over a year now. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing speedy about none of this. There's nothing. Listen. The judge up here, for a fact, should not be trying this case. All this shit, man. The day I told him I wanted you fired, when he told me I couldn't legally fire you because he hired you, that's bullshit. I'm getting a runaround here. You know, um, I've never ever had someone not call me back. And I understand I got an opinion. But damn, you know, this is past ridiculous.
Well, here, I am calling you back.
Yeah, the day before court. Oh, this. How many times have you called me? What, three in a year?
I don't have the exact number.
Yeah,
I,
I
I
I
yeah, I
do.
remember at least 3 or 4 conversations.
Yeah, in a year. Think about that. The one time I was calling just to find out, do you need anything from me? What do I need to do? I listen. Just because I know my First Amendment right and I know some of my other rights, don't mean I know all this crap that's going on in this court system. You know, I need to know what's going on. I need to be informed.
Yeah, your case is set for a bench trial tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yeah,
You should
and
be there at 8:30.
you know what? You know as well as I do what's going to end up happening when we go in there. He's going to be in there with his shitty attitude again when he sees me. He does all the time. I can't say nothing. Listen, before he hired you for me,
Uh-huh.
I told you that day. He threatened me with contempt of court twice that day. I know legally I don't have to speak without an attorney. Period. But I was threatened under threats of arrest of going to a jail cell for 180 days maximum for not answering this motherfucker's questions. And excuse me for cussing, but I'm shaking. I mean, my nerves are so shot. My First Amendment, period. You know, I mean, this is just wrong. I mean, on a whole bunch of levels here. You know, like I said, you don't return phone calls. You're missing appointments. I got the judges screwing me over. I got the judge trespassing me from his public lobby, which is illegal as fuck. You know, I can't access the public law library because they keep it locked. I can't walk into a public building that I'm legally allowed to walk into without being threatened with arrest constantly. This battery charge that you have in front of you also too that's coming up, this battery spit charge that he gave you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been able to access none of that. I haven't been able to do a damn thing. All my stuff the day I was arrested out there, and when I got out, when you never even showed up for me when I was in jail. I mean, all this, man.
How many days were you in before you bonded out on that battery one?
A week.
Okay. Because that is the strongest case for the state.
What's wrong about it? It's a lie. The
Well,
guy,
that's what I mean. It's his word. I mean, that's stronger than the other one, but I mean, if the judge believes him,
the judge probably believes him because they're all friends up there. Listen, that same man who turned around and made that lie stated on a 911 call when they called and said that I didn't live out there. I have a lease that says I was living there. The 911 call alone dispels that bullshit. The sheriff's department refuses to take any kind of reports from me. The police department will not take any kind of reports from me. This man has stolen my guns. He's stolen my tools, my livelihood, my business. I don't have the money to replace that stuff.
do you have a signed lease?
Yeah, I have a signed lease.
Would you be able to bring it tomorrow?
Not unless I can. See, that's what I'm saying. Can you meet me ahead of time so I can give you my cell phones so you can walk in with them?
Well, I don't understand. Your signed lease is on your cell phone?
Yeah, I got everything. Yeah, everything's digital now. I mean, I can't keep a paper trail. I mean, I don't have a paper trail. Matter of fact, I mean, I listen. That very first discovery paper that you gave me when I went to jail, miraculously ended up gone. I got nothing. I have nothing. That's why I told you before. I need a copy of the discoveries. I need all this. I have nothing. I'm sitting here flying blind. Literally blind.
Well, I'll bring everything with me tomorrow, and if you need more time, I'll ask the judge for more time.
I don't want more time. I want this shit dismissed. It's bullshit. A police officer. Have you watched the video at all?
Yes.
Have you watched it in its entirety?
Yes.
What about the 6-hour one? Did you watch it up until I went to the police station? Because if the video you have, the one that the initial one, because remember when I told you the initial one says piggies on it? It's that 6-hour video. Well, the first hour and something, or like I said, I think like the first maybe half hour, 45 minutes, in the beginning of that video, it shows me up in town. But it shows me recording Evans and Hedges and all that at the gas station prior to that, where he made that comment in there about, remember when they were getting ready, when he had me sitting on the ground and before I signed the ticket or whatever, on there, and when he was talking about because you follow us at the end when he was getting ready to walk off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what he was talking about. I was recording them at the police station earlier, or the gas station that night, sitting around doing absolutely nothing for hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's all these cops do in this town. They sit around and do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, most cops, that's what they do.
Well, that's not what we pay them to do. Yeah. But anyway, I got a trespass from the gas station down there because I was recording on a sidewalk. A First Amendment protected activity. And the sheriffs did it anyway. Knowing damn well that you can't trespass me from somewhere I haven't broken a law. And Speedway's own policy tells you right off the bat. They allow the fourth or your amendments. They don't block any of them. I've had this from corporate telling me this. That I can, if I wanted to walk into a Speedway and recording, it's my right. It's the same as any other right that you have, as long as you're not doing it in restricted areas. I can't walk into a bathroom with a friggin' camera recording. I can't.
Right.
I can't walk behind locked doors. I can't walk anywhere where there's a sign that tells me, employees only or restricted area. I know, I can read, but the difference is, with these laws, like I was trying to explain to you that day, and that's another thing. What law books are we going by here? Are they going by Black's law? What law are we doing? Are we doing common law here? Are we doing admiralty law? What are we doing? I have no clue. I can't ask this judge questions because every time I do, he gets pissed off.
We're going by the Indiana state law.
Is that common laws? Is that admiralty law? What is it?
It's not common law, no.
So we're going by admiralty
Indiana
law.
state law.
If it's not common law, then it's admiralty law. Those are the only two laws we have.
I don't know. I would term this as state law.
Okay, then that's admiralty law. Okay, I'm not in the military. When the judge is trying to tell me about my rights, I've not given up none of my rights. That day when I told you when I put the Vicotus in front of my name, I know for a fact he knows exactly what it means. He never asked me about that, but he wants to know what my middle name is and going to threaten me with arrest if I don't give it to him. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, you have the judge is in charge. You're gonna have to listen to him. So tomorrow, I mean, if he tells you to do something, you have to kind of do it. That's just how it is.
The judge cannot be all powerful, almighty God. He's not my God. He's, listen, that's like another thing. Your paperwork, it says I'm a sovereign. That pisses me off, slandering me right off the rip. That pisses me off with so many deals, because these police officers and the way everybody's looking at a sovereign is someone who don't believe that we have to follow laws and bullshit. That's not friggin' true at all.
I don't know what you're referring to. What paperwork?
If you look closely at the paperwork on one of the papers I seen, it was before I went to jail and lost my papers. It stated on there sovereign.
Oh, it referred to you as like a sovereign citizen?
Yes, it did, and it pisses me off. And it's on one of the papers. If you look closely at them, I don't remember if it's the police report or if it's the prosecutor's report, but one of them papers states that I'm a sovereign, and it pisses me off. It's up on the top left-hand corner.
All right, I'll take a look at that further.
I'm
prepared. I'm ready to go for this trial. I think the disorderly is a good case. So I think we have, some facts on our side. The battery, I'll do my best to cross-examine the alleged victim if it even shows. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it shows. But 8:30 tomorrow, okay? And I'll try to answer any questions that I can, if you have some before it starts.
Well, I have a bunch of questions right now because, like I said, dude, I'm pissed. I mean, I need you to, you need to let me know. I'm past pissed, Peter. And I ain't trying to be. I'm not trying to call your office and be calling and cussing and none of that. I'm just pissed because no one literally is helping me. No one, I'm getting a runaround constantly. That's all I'm getting. The sheriff here won't take a report. When William turned around and they stole my guns out there, you can't unarm me. That's a clear violation on all rounds. You know what I mean? Breaking the law, you stealing my, not you, but you know what I mean, stealing my tools,
Yeah, but he didn't even take a report of the gun theft?
No, I have him on recording telling me to come back in a week. I got another recording. That last day when I talked to you and I told you, I said I need to go out to the sheriff's department, but I'm still scared. That last day I talked to you, I think maybe it was a week later. I think me and a buddy went to the sheriff's department. All I did was go in, because remember when I told you, I said the guy who spreaded the lies about me in the jail, where I almost got beat up in the jail, or they were trying to get me jumped in there, throwing me in with an ex-cop because I record.
Why did
Well, listen, I tried to.
Why did he tell you to come back in a week?
Because he don't want to do his job. They don't want to take a report. The police department called the police department on me for standing in a public area recording. They closed down business on me. The council people, the city, the ones who run the courthouse, the commissioners,
right?
They've turned the mic off on me and ended open mic. Where the public can speak, because I refuse to give up my Fourth Amendment. They're not going to tell me where they live. Why would I tell them where I live? You know what I mean? Everybody in town knows my name. I got cops running around here doxing me, calling me out by name, doing stupid shit. And I have not been out recording. Because I promised you that day. Remember I told you, I said, if I do go out and record, I said it'll be if I see more than one or two on a stop. And even then I'll try to keep my distance. And I have been refraining from them. You know how hard that is? Especially knowing that these crooked bastards are out here doing this shit? One of the new sheriffs that just got hired in here is one of the ones that just killed that person out here on that chase.
Oh, really?
Yeah, think about that. So this is the bullshit I'm dealing with. You got the sheriff's department closing down services, not taking reports of theft. They won't look into the reports of when I was in there in the jail. I wasn't even in there 5 minutes in that damn jail cell after the 3 days of coming out of the holding tank. that you're only supposed to be in a holding tank for 24 hours. Yeah, this is for the battery charge.
Okay.
The one I'm talking about on that one. Sorry, I know I switched over real fast. I got a habit of doing that, and I apologize.
That's all right. Mr. Walton, listen, I have to run now, but I will be there tomorrow at 8:30, and we can strategize and get ready for the bench trial.
Well, what's your goal here?
Not guilty.
Well, I mean, I know I'm not guilty. I mean, but what I'm saying is, I mean, is Chase going to be there? Did you guys subpoena Chase?
The state did. The alleged victim?
No, Chase Decker.
Oh, the police officer?
No. The two police officers, as far as I know, both the police officers should be there. I think they should have been there any time I've had to be there. You know what I mean? I've been threatened to be there. The only reason I keep showing up is because of the threats of arrest. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The night I got the ticket, you seen, you know, I made sure, you know, you're telling me, am I going to be threatened with arrest? I mean, because that's the only way you're getting me to sign something. You know,
Who's Chase Decker?
Chase Decker, that's what I said. That's what I'm saying. You're not even prepared then. I mean, listen, if you look at the police report where they talk about Chase Decker was sitting over in the parking lot, you know, they seen a vehicle pull up and look, you know, that's why I was telling you that day. If you'd have met me down here, we could have come down here and I could have showed you the spot where he was talking about. You cannot physically look through the building, look through the tree, and then be able to see somebody at nighttime through the house and be able to tell who it is. That's what he said in the report. Said that he seen Chase Decker and then went over and talked to him. And then that Chase told him that he heard screaming. No, what Chase, if he would have talked to Chase, because Chase already done told me he didn't talk to the cop. He said the cops never talked to him one time. His exact words to me, the cops never once talked to him. I said, but yet they put him in my report saying that they talked to him, said he heard screaming. Well, I can tell you right now, Chase is a friend of mine, and when he does hear any kind of things going on recording-wise, it's because he's watching my live stream. He follows me around to make sure no one does anything dumb to me at nighttime.
What's his last name? Decker?
Yes. So I said, if you look at the police report in there, you'll see, like I said, where he said that, you know, where he can look through the house and he's seen them. You know? Like I said, and then on top of it, like I said, you know, you've got the police officers inside the house giving up my Fourth Amendment right, you know, telling these people who I am, soliciting trespasses, you know what I mean? They're conspiring against me outside, you know, just from the little bit of what I heard, you know. See, that's what I said. I haven't even heard the whole video, you know. Do we have the 911 calls from that night or for both nights?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I've never even heard the 911 calls, but I can guarantee that they lied on the 911 call. Because like I said, I mean, for the disorderly charge, like I said, you can see where that woman walked up to me. There's not one time, like I said, and even if you look at my 6-hour video, there's not one time that I ever deliberately put my camera on that woman's house or on her front porch until after all that bullshit happened. And then towards the end, and when I finally walked up, because Evans was threatening me with arrest again, telling me if you step over there on that property, I'll arrest you. That's exactly why at the end of that video I walked over on that property. Because I knew he couldn't arrest me. I wanted him to. At that point, you know what I mean? I was actually willing that night to go to jail. You know, I'm not trying to go to jail. I'm not trying to, I've not been once trying to sue these people. I've made this statement 100 different times. I do not want to sue these people, but they're forcing me to. You know, they got me to the point to where I'm no longer out on my farm where I was living. You know what you know those storage containers that people are turning into tiny homes?
Yeah.
Yeah, well that's what I'm in right now, a storage container. Everything I own is in a storage container right now, including me.
Why aren't you at that farm?
Because that's where the battery charge happened.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. They wanted me out of there. See, that's why I said on that battery charge, I have videos upon videos and pictures upon pictures of dead animals, shit I've been dealing with for almost 10 years, you know, and I finally got pissed off. And I'm like, I'm not doing it no more. And because of that day, I decided I wasn't going to clean nothing for this man. All of a sudden, oh no, call the law, tell him he don't live here. I want him gone. And then all of a sudden they spilled that bullshit. And when he realized that the police officer was not going to arrest me and take me out because I lived there, and the police officer knew I lived out there, because the cops did not arrest me that first day. They were going to at first, but the one told the other deputy right in front of me. He said, and that's another thing, you need them body cams, because the one body cam will show where I walked the police officer up inside the house, showed him what the house looked like, the reason I was moving, the reason I was fed up. And I told him, I mean, this man took an AR-15 and broke it across my back. I was scared to death living out there, and that's why I finally ended up buying those guns and putting them in my room. And the second I bought them guns, they come up missing the next day. You know, this whole thing it's corrupt. You got Carlos Moore. He's the animal control sheriff. I called them and told them about what all's going on out there about the dead animals and stuff. Carlo told me, "Oh, I'll call you back." He's never once called me back. I called the EPA and everybody else to tell them about all the tires and everything that's out there being burned, and all the animals and all the dead stuff. And I called the animal control and everybody else to let them know about all the stuff that was going on out there. Do you know what they did? Took my name, my number, told me they would contact me. Not one person has contacted me to ask me about videos or proof or any of this, because they don't give a shit. It's about the money that judge wants to make off of me and to get me into the system. And I know when they look at my record, they're seeing assault on police officers from years ago, and he just hates police officers and he hates authority, and thinking I have an attitude all the time because I have a deep, voice, and and I grew up in Detroit and I have an opinion. I've not once been mad at that judge anytime we've walked in there. I'm technically not. I mean, I'm disappointed with him, because the way he acts, the way he does shit, he gonna sit and leave the building, turn around, no seatbelt, turn around, no blinkers, no nothing, turn around, break the law, and while he's out, turn around, he don't show up on time for court. He treats people like shit when he's in the courtroom. And I can't say nothing in the courtroom every time I've tried. Like I said, like that second day that I was trying to give you my email address to update the email address, the courts, that very first day, asked me, "Do you have an email, phone number, any of that stuff that we can have for the court?" And then you seen I was trying to update that with you and the prosecutor, giving it to him. And what happened? He threatened me with contempt right in front of you, that if I didn't shut up and stop talking. I was talking to you. I mean, think about that.
So let's just try to be as calm as you can tomorrow, and I think everything will be okay.
I'm afraid to open my mouth at all in there.
Well, you can always talk to me. You got to be careful how you address the judge.
That's what.
Go now.
But listen, every time I have tried talking to you, when I was whispering to you that day, he threatened me with contempt right in front of you.
I don't remember it like that. I think that was before I was even in the room, but.
Oh no! You're talking about the last time we was there. Yeah, when he had me sitting over in the what I call the jury box or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, where he had me sitting over there. Well, I had no idea why he even had me sitting over there, because all I was doing was the female, the attorney that you had me sitting there with. She asked me a question, and I looked at her, and I think I did say the word fuck, but it wasn't like it was like I was meaning to say it. It just comes out. I mean, it's not. It's nothing. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. It was just. All the people I've been around over the years, I mean, I might look over and see something go, "Man, did you see that fucking thing?" And not thinking about the word, right. Well, but you know what I'm saying. So it's not personal, and I wasn't trying to be disrespectful at all in his courtroom, not one time. But there was another woman that come in there that day, and she was talking about firing an attorney, and I turned around and I made a comment, and I said, "I've been thinking about the same thing, just because I don't know what's going on." You know what I mean? So he comes in the courtroom, turns around, he's eyeballing me while he's telling everybody else, "Well, you're hearing certain shit and rah, rah, rah." And basically, I mean, and if I would have said anything, he'd have thrown me in jail. I'm like, so he's already got an informed opinion, and you can see this when you see him. He's not supposed to have an opinion, period. He's supposed to be 100% biased on this shit. That's what I said. I mean, because you know what I mean? You can't turn constitutionally protected activities into a crime. I mean, I never threatened anybody. Yeah, some of the words I might have said to him, or kind of a little messed up and questionable, but when someone pisses me off, man, the sarcasm immediately, just starts working in my brain.
Yep.
You know, and
Mr. Walton, listen, I have to go 8:30 tomorrow. All right,
can
and
you?
we'll fight this, okay?
All right. One other quick thing. Um, how do we get this dismissed right off? I mean, because this has clearly been more than 60 days.
We can't get it dismissed. We're gonna fight it, and we're gonna hopefully be successful at the bench trial. It's not gonna get dismissed.
I can't believe that they're actually. I mean, that they're doing this. I mean, really. I mean, is this prosecutor? Is she new? I mean,
No, she's been there for a couple of years.
I mean, no. I mean, I know she's been at the courthouse for a couple of years, from what I've understood. But I mean, like, is she new in general?
No,
To law. I mean, because
no,
she's.
I don't think so.
I'm just in awe and just I don't know what the hell. So
We got it. Listen, I had an attempted murder trial a couple weeks ago, and we won. So I'm pretty confident. All right, just trust me. All right, and just try to be as calm as possible. Everything will go okay. All right.
I've
I'll see
been
you tomorrow, 8:30. I got to run.
all right. You gonna meet me outside the courthouse before we walk in?
Sure, I can do that. 8:30.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right. Yep. Bye.
Son of a bitch.